So we've talked about the hows and whats and whys and everything in between when it comes to actually logging your data in World of Warcraft. We've looked at splitting logs and uploading logs and live logging. I've urged you guys, and hopefully you've done so, with enabling the advanced combat feature, or advanced combat logging rather, for World of Warcraft. However, now I want to go through a very brief kind of overview of the Warcraft Logs page, because I want you guys to be able to navigate through this as we're talking about it in subsequent videos. So what I want to do here is check out a log from last week, specifically Tuesday, because it has a lot of data in there. And I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And I want to show you guys very briefly what you're going to see. So this is the entire night's worth of raiding. This is the entire log for Tuesday. It shows us every single kill that we got, how long it took us to get it, and it shows us, if there were any, how many attempts it took us. So we can see here that it took us, 3 attempts, 2 wipes in red, 1 kill right there. We can click on that specific kill, and it will bring up a summary of that specific encounter. Okay, so from top down, right here, we can click on this. Again, we can get to every single other one. We can look at specific phases. So right there, you can see, okay, is there an issue with stage 1, stage 2, stage 3? We don't want to look at all of them for this video, at least. We can scroll down a little bit. We can see our raid composition. So we can look and see, okay, we had a blood DK, we had a demon hunter, we had a whole bunch of DPS here in every single spec. We had a couple of healers here. We can continue to scroll down and see the damage done by source. So for this specific encounter, Yrmir, great job, right? He did an amazing job, 12k DPS, hot damn. If we scroll down, we can see that Katie didn't do a whole lot of DPS, probably because she's a healer, but she really needs to work on that DPS. Same deal, we can go and see healing done by source. Bobby did a great job. However, our arms warrior here, not so good at healing. Damage taken, same thing, a very brief summary where we can see that Bloodstorm is kicking our ass. Can we reduce that damage? However, Retrieve Cudgel, we're really good at. Okay, nobody's getting charged into, nobody's getting hit by that at all. However, if we go over to the right, we can see that we did have 3 deaths. We had Rob, we had Panda, and Katie that died, and we can see very briefly when and how they were killed. What got them that killing blow? So if we scroll back up, this banner right here is the majority of your navigation. And there's a couple of things here. So, and I'm going to skip this right here because these are actually specific videos that we're going to be talking about. But you can click from left to right, damage done, and you can see, okay, damage done. Yrmir did a whole lot of damage. We can see his name, parses, which we're going to get to in a later video. The amount of DPS percentage-wise that he did compared to everybody else. His item level, we can see all his gear if we hover over it. We can see his item level parse. We can see how active he was, DPS, etc. We can scroll all the way down. We can see damage taken. Same thing. We can see that Tyler is taking a lot of damage. Why is Tyler taking a lot of damage? Well, I know why, because he's purposely running into all the bloods. But we could dig in, and I'll show you guys how to dig in and see this. We can see that Yrmir, again, great job. He's not taking a lot of damage. He's not standing in things he doesn't need to. He's moving when he needs to move. He's doing a great job. Go through healing, same deal. We can look and see that, Bobby is doing a great job. A lot of overhealing. Let's see if we can get that one down. His item level parses, etc. Same thing. We can look at threat and see if there's any issue, who had the majority of the threat on Talik? Well, it looks like Tyler did. Jim, he had a little bit of the time, the Bloods rather, a little bit of the time, and Talik about 10%. We can go through buffs and we can see every single buff that was given out that night. Now, this is great if you want to see, was somebody not eating? Was somebody not using potions? Was somebody not using flasks? Was somebody, whatever the case might be. How many buffs went out? How many specific ones? Who did they go on? Etc. Debuffs, exact same thing. We can see that Forbearance went out. Somebody, for some reason had to use, a Paladin ability. Demonic Gateway was only used twice. Bloodstorm went out. Debuff, 145 times. Shadowman 7. I mean, you guys can go through this and see. You can look at the deaths, and we were talking about this a minute ago. At almost 4 minutes into the fight, Rob was killed by combustible fuel. Now, here is the interesting thing. He was killed over 11 seconds. So actually, we're going to go back here. He was killed over 11 seconds by bloodstorm and plasma discharge and combustible fuel. And you guys can see, Panda and Katie, same thing, bloodstorm, plasma charge. I clicked on it a second ago, but you can go through here and you can see at 12.3 seconds, Katie healed him. Rob had burning rush on, which didn't help. Healed him. You can go through here and you can see, that there are things going on where, Rob takes damage from plasma discharge. Rob takes damage again, plasma discharge, environmental plasma discharge. He's getting heals. He's definitely getting heals. Not a lot, not enough. But then he gets hit by the combustible fuel, and he dies. So poor Rob. We can go through interrupts. There are none for Talek, but we can see if we're looking at Gahoon is a great example. In fact, I don't think we have Gahoon. I'm trying to think. Let's look at Mithrax. That's a good example of interrupts. So we can see who is really trying to interrupt the tentacles that are doing mind flay. We can see that Burglar is really trying to stop. He's really doing his job. However, we can go through and see, Void Volley, and we can go through here and see the Mind Flay. Again, Burglar's up there, but we can see who is actually interrupting and who is not. So we can compare this to our list of people in the raid and go, okay, whoever, one of the tanks, I don't know, I'll pick on them. Actually, there are no tanks up here. So we'll pick on one of the tanks and say, you guys could also be interrupting the mind flays. You could be doing whatever. You guys need to do that a lot better, etc. Dispels, I don't know. Okay, there you go. Dispels. So you can actually see Shadow Word Pain. I dispelled it off people twice during that fight. Crippling Poison. Josh and Katie, they got it off. You can look and see Deadly Poison. Again, you guys can go through and see where people are getting stuff dispelled. Really cool if I'm trying to think, Zul is a good example where, who is dispelling the debuff where you run out in the last phase. And when you dispel them as a healer, you spawn the little purpley ads that run to you, etc. You can see who is doing that. You can see resources. Where are people spending all of their resources? So if we click on, I want to look at one of the healers, and this is for Mithrax. Let's look at myself. If I can find myself in here, I should start with an S. So you can see here where I'm spending a lot of my resources. Where I am, I'm sitting here trying to regain, should be mana, I want to say. But that seems awfully low, truth be told. So you can see here where I am spending a lot of my resources. Oh, I'm an idiot. Those are hit points. I never learned how to read. So let's go and we'll say mana. Okay, and let's only do myself. Where did I go? Right here. So, perfect example right here. You can see mana-wise. That's actually pretty decent as the fight goes on. There's no huge spikes where I'm going out of mana, halfway during the fight, in the 3 minute and 30 second mark or something, and then putting strain on some of my other healers. We can actually go through and see here, if we look and we pick on some of our healers, there should be another healer in here somewhere. Katie. Okay, here we go. So we can see here, as the fight goes on, we want to go from 100 to 0, obviously. But we can see here and this is a good example, why did I spend so much mana right here from this 1 minute and 45 seconds all the way, let's say, to 2 minutes and 37 seconds. So why for a minute am I healing my ass off, whereas Blake and Katie aren't? Is there something, did I screw up on something? Was I not paying attention? Were they recouping mana? There's a lot of things you can figure out. Again, same thing right here with Bobby, where he's healing his ass off. And then this is a great example. Bobby right here, out of mana. He's completely out of mana. for a good majority from like 437 to 530. So he's got no mana, and then he gets a little bit. Maybe he hits a potion. Again, boom, out of mana. Whereas the rest of us are pretty steadily going down. So that's something we can look at. And then we can actually look at casts. We can see specifically who is casting what. So we can go and we can see, these are the abilities that Tyler is using, where he's using all these abilities. And again, we can click on stuff. We'll pick on me. And we can see, am I the only one in here? We can specifically see every single freaking cast that I use. So, we can go through here and see, and we'll pick on Bobby since he was out of mana. If I can find his name right here. So we can look and see, what did we say? I don't remember what the times were, but we can look and see at 6:14, Bobby uses a rejuve, and then he doesn't cast anything for like 6 or 7 seconds, where he throws another rejuve out. So you can see that there are spots here where he's not casting anything. I'm not looking to pick on him. He's an amazing player, great healer. But it does show you here, and here's another example, where he casts Potion of Replenishment. There you go. Like I said, where he is out of the game for a good, 10 seconds, I think, for a potion. So from 3:14 and then back up to, if I can get it here, 3:24. So 10 seconds where he starts throwing out heals again. And you can compare and see, was there a difference in healing? I'm sitting here healing a lot all throughout the fight, a couple of gaps there. And you can see where people are being inactive. And this is a really interesting thing for healers, at least in my mind. But you can dig through here and check and see, is there a reason why, Justin at 5 minutes and 30 seconds wasn't doing anything? Well, did he die? And this is for a Mithrax. He did. So 5:31, boom, he died. So this is your review for at least the big points of Warcraft Logs. I hope that this helped. I hope that it really did. You guys know the deal. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you didn't like it, let me know in the comment section down below. There's a ton of stuff we're going to dig into here. I want to show you guys. And until next time, I'll see you.